Hey there, everyone. You know that feeling, right? You dive into something new, a project, maybe a workout routine, learning a skill, and you feel just unstoppable at first, totally motivated, focused, ready for anything. But then, well, life happens. Things get tough, or maybe just a bit boring. And bam, that amazing motivation just vanishes. And you're left thinking, how do some people do it? How do they stay consistent? What's the secret? Well, today we're digging into that. We're going deep into this stack of articles and research you shared with us all about motivation, our mission, to pull out the really useful stuff, the surprising bits, and connect the dots for you, give you some real answers for staying motivated when that initial fire starts to fade. And helping us navigate all this great material, we've got our expert guide here. So there's a lot in these sources, but maybe we can start with something basic. A lot of them talk about that first burst of energy versus something deeper. What is the real difference based on this material between just, hype and that genuine lasting drive?
Yeah, that's a great place to start, and it's really crucial. Several sources, especially the psychology ones, really break this down. That hype you mentioned, it's usually external. Like you hear a great speech, get a cool new idea. Maybe it's just Monday morning energy. It gives you that dopamine hit, gets you going. Fantastic for starting things. But like one of the essays pointed out, it almost never lasts when you hit a bump in the road. True motivation, the lasting kind, that comes from inside. The sources really hammer this difference between extrinsic and intrinsic. Extrinsic is, it's about outside stuff, rewards or avoiding punishment, like working hard for a bonus or maybe cleaning your room so your parents don't get mad. It works, sure, but it only lasts as long as that external thing is there, right? Well, take away the reward or the threat and poof, the motivation often goes too. Intrinsic motivation, though, that's different. It's internal. It comes from really enjoying something or feeling it connects to your purpose or just wanting to get better at it. It feels right, aligns with who you are, or you just love doing it. That's the stuff that sticks around.
Okay, so intrinsic is the goal, the sustainable one. But why does even that seem to disappear sometimes? Like even when you are driven by purpose, you hit these walls, especially when things get hard. Is there like a science reason or an emotional reason for that dip? The research you looked at must cover this.
Oh, absolutely. It's a mix of both, really. And the neuroscience papers you sent offer some cool insights. When we start something new, our brain often gives us this rush of dopamine, the feel-good chemical. It's rewarding us, basically, anticipating success. That's the initial buzz. But our brains are also super efficient. They like saving energy. So when a task gets repetitive or really hard, or maybe the reward isn't coming fast enough, that dopamine response tends to quiet down. The brain starts looking for easier things to do, paths of least resistance. And then there's the emotional side. There's this thing called the hedonic treadmill. It's a fascinating concept from back in the 70s, actually, one of the papers you flagged. It basically means we adapt really quickly to good things. That amazing feeling you get when you achieve something, it fades. It becomes the new normal.
Ah, right. So you need something new to get that same feeling again.
Exactly. Plus, you've got things like fear of failure or trying to be perfect all the time or just being plain exhausted. All that stuff drains your emotional energy and just kills motivation.
And that hedonic treadmill thing?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I totally recognize that. You hit a goal, feel great for like a day, and then it's just Tuesday again. That's kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
So, okay, if our brains naturally adapt and that spark fades, how do we fight back? Your sources, especially the ones on habits and productivity, really talk up habits and purpose. How do those help us hack the system?
Right. This is where the really practical advice comes in. Habits are kind of the unsung heroes here. James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, which was in your list, goes deep on this, relying just on willpower. It's like a muscle. It gets tired. You burn out.
Yeah, definitely felt that.
But habits, they take way less conscious effort. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need a pep talk for that, right?
Huh. No, thankfully.
It's automatic. So if you build habits around your goals, you create this structure. It keeps you going even when you're just not feeling it. And then purpose. That's like your anchor, your why. When you connect what you're doing day to day to something bigger, your values, your mission, the impact you want to have, that taps right into that deep intrinsic motivation we talked about. Knowing why you're doing the boring or hard stuff gives it meaning. It makes you more resilient when things go wrong. It's like a compass, always pointing you back in the right direction when you feel lost.
Habits for structure, purpose for meaning. That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like a really powerful combo. And the sources also mention something else that feels really key: momentum. How do those little wins, the small stuff, help keep that momentum going?
Momentum is absolutely huge. It comes up everywhere. Sports psych, business, everywhere. Think about pushing a stalled car. Getting it started is the hardest part, right? It takes massive effort.
Been there.
But once it's rolling, even just a little bit, it gets easier and easier to keep it moving. Motivation is exactly like that. When we manage even a small win, like a tiny one, it triggers this positive feedback loop. Your brain gives you a little dopamine hit, a little sense of, hey, I did that. And that feeling reinforces the behavior, makes you want to do it again. Plus, these small wins, they prove to you that you can do it. That progress is possible, even if it feels slow. They build your confidence, and that confidence makes it easier to take the next step and the next one after that. Seriously, never underestimate just showing up and doing something, even if it feels tiny. Those small actions add up like crazy over time. They build unstoppable momentum.
Just showing up and doing something. I like that. It feels less intimidating. Okay, so for you listening right now, wanting to put this stuff into action, what are maybe 3 concrete strategies drawn from all this material that you can use like today to strike that motivation?
Okay, yeah, lots of practical gold in the sources. First one, micro goals. Lots of the productivity guides you shared talk about this. Break down those massive, scary goals into really, really small steps, almost laughably small.
Like what?
Well, instead of write the whole report, maybe it's just write one good paragraph. Instead of run 5 miles, it's put on running shoes and walk out the door.
Okay, super small.
Exactly. It lowers the mental barrier to starting, and it sets you up for those quick, easy wins that build momentum right away. Second strategy, environment hacks. This comes from the behavioral design stuff. Your surroundings have a huge impact on what you do, often more than pure willpower. So make the good stuff easy and the not so good stuff harder. Like if you want to work out in the morning, lay out your clothes the night before. Want to eat better, put the healthy snacks right at the front of the fridge. Hide the junk food. Want to read more, put a book on your nightstand, not your phone. Basically, design your space so it nudges you towards what you want to do. And third, why? Reminders. We talked about purpose being your anchor, right? But it's easy to forget your why when you're just grinding through the day.
Totally.
So create actual reminders. Write down your main reasons for doing this thing, your deep purpose, and put it somewhere you'll see it all the time. Stick it on your monitor, bathroom mirror, set a phone alert, whatever works. When you feel that dip in motivation, seeing that reminder can reconnect you emotionally to why it matters. It's a powerful anchor.
Micro goals, environment hacks, why reminders, those are great. Super actionable, straight from the sources you provided, things you can actually do. Actually, speaking of listeners, we got a message from Sarah who shared some of this material with us. She says, I get really excited starting new things like a diet or learning something, but I give up so fast. How do I stay consistent?
Sarah, thank you for sharing that. That feeling is just so common. I really get that initial excitement fizzle. It sounds like you're great at starting, which honestly, as many sources point out, is a huge step. The key thing here, Sarah, and this comes up a lot in the resilience stuff you included, is shifting your mindset. Try focusing less on perfection and more on progress. Often when that excitement fades, it's because we hit a snag, a setback, some self-doubt, or just realizing it's harder than we thought. Instead of seeing that as failure, try seeing it as just data. Like, what can I learn here? What needs adjusting?
Data points, not failures.
Yeah, exactly. True consistency isn't about nailing it perfectly every single day. Nobody does that. It's about showing up, even imperfectly most days. It's about bouncing back quickly when you stumble, not letting one off day wreck everything. The big message from all this material is focus on the next small step, not just the giant finish line way off in the distance. Embrace the journey, you know? It's not just the result. You can definitely do this.
Perfection to progress.
Yeah.
That's a really powerful way to look at it. Great advice for Sarah, and honestly for all of us, really pulls together a lot of the wisdom from these sources. Okay, everyone listening, wow, we've covered a lot today. From understanding hype versus real motivation, the science of the dip, to these concrete strategies pulled right from the materials you sent in. So here's your Motivation Booster Challenge for today. Pick one strategy, just one, a micro goal, an environment hack, or a why reminder, and do it right after this deep dive finishes. Maybe set one tiny goal for something you've been avoiding, or tweak one thing in your environment, or take literally 5 minutes to jot down your why and stick it somewhere visible. Just one thing. Don't overthink it. Just go do it. And thank you so much for walking us through all this complex material today, connecting all those dots into something so clear and useful. Yeah, it's really fantastic.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thanks for gathering such great resources and for letting me dive into such an important topic with you.
And a huge thank you, to all of you for listening. Remember, motivation isn't this magic thing you either have or you don't. It's more like a muscle. You build it day by day through action, through connecting to your purpose. So keep showing up, keep taking those small steps, keep reminding yourself of your amazing why, drawing on the insights from the very sources you bring to our attention. Until next time, stay inspired, stay empowered, and go make things happen.